Hey guys, it is NCS Fan 001 here for another one of those weekly trophy list updates. Today's date is either Monday, September 2nd or Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024. So this will have covered the week of August the 26th through September 1st or September 2nd of 2024. So this was a reasonably productive week overall. In fact, I'm actually quite happy with the progress made this week, even if it was only in a grand total of 3 different games. So first of all, I obtained my 29,000th trophy here in South Park Snow Day. Now, I gotta say, this game isn't very good. I kind of knew that it wasn't going to be that good going in based on all the reviews and stuff of it. But yeah, they were not lying or exaggerating. This is really not that good of a game, especially by South Park standards. The Platinum Trophy is supposed to be pretty easy, but honestly, it's just so boring as a game. I'm not looking forward to playing more of it at this moment. At least it's quick, though. It's a sub 10 hour Platinum, so let's see. The last trophy I got was, I think, this one? Let's see. That was at 10:16 p.m. No, this was the last trophy I got, because that's a story-related trophy, I believe. Let's check that. 10:29 versus 10... Yep, so this was the last trophy I got in the game, and this was my 29,000th trophy, which is pretty epic. That's a little milestone, even though it's not really a huge one. The 30,000 is a much bigger milestone, but we're thankfully still a good 1,000 trophies away from that, so that's good. I also completely forgot to mention that this was 29,000 because I kind of lost track of trophy numbers, so wonderful. Now, for the Platinum Trophy, dancing while reviving an ally is pretty simple. Then this one, a lot of it comes down to getting certain cards at certain times because the game has a lot of RNG elements to it. So yeah, a lot of it comes down to getting certain cards at certain times and certain levels to be able to do these trophies. Apparently this one's quite grindy because there's not, like, vampire kids don't show up very often. So that's wonderful. This one you have to beat one of the specific levels in under 25 minutes, which I'm not going to do just yet. This one, I guess, is just another boss fight specific trophy. There's nothing missable in this game, unlike the other South Park games, because it functions as like a tutorial then 5 chapter system, and you just have to, you can replay each of the 5 chapters as much as you want. So I haven't made a lot of progress on most of the trophies, but I have done the healing so far throughout the game. This one is, I think, an unmissable trophy. It's one of the first things you're going to get in the game. Well, maybe not one of the first things you're going to get in the game, but it's pretty early on. Then this one, I don't even know how you can do that. Then this is a story-related trophy, as is this, so 2 unmissable story trophies. That's a story-related trophy, I believe. This should be a story-related trophy. This, I'm assuming, is a story-related trophy, and this should be a story-related trophy. And I believe that this is also a story-related trophy. So the extra rulebook is like modifiers, like what you get in other games, where it just makes the game a little bit harder, so you just have to finish any of the levels with an extra add-on, which shouldn't be too bad. Also, you can play this game in co-op, by the way, and it probably would be a little bit more fun in co-op. This trophy, I think you just have to basically do some extra challenges throughout your run. I don't think it's anything insane, but it's probably one of the harder trophies in the game. This one, I assume you need a specific card to do. This one, I'm not entirely sure what that enemy was, but the bleeding damage is a pretty common status effect, so it wasn't too bad. This one I'm making good progress on, just basically upgrade your cards throughout the game and you should be good to go. This one, acquire a legendary upgrade. This is basically unmissable. This is one of the earlier trophies that you're going to get in the game. Then this is just something that'll probably come naturally. I'm not too worried about that one. This one, I have no idea even what that is. I have no idea what really any of this stuff is because... Oh wait, this one's actually pretty easy, so this one I will get through fairly soon, I would think. And then this one, that probably isn't actually that hard if you have some kind of flame-based card or something. And then this one probably won't be too hard once I get that ability, so... A lot of the trophies in the game aren't overly difficult, it's just kind of just not a fun game. Once again, that's all I can say, is it's just not a fun game in the slightest. So yeah, not looking forward to continuing that, but at least it's fairly short. It's a GameFly game, and I will eventually get done with it and have all the South Park games done, because this is a PS5 only, so it's no PS4 version. The majority of my time this past week was spent on Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I have obtained the Platinum Trophy and 100% in the PS4 version, and most of the bad stuff on PS5 is actually done, which is insane. So with the PS4 version, you have 5 trophies related to Dead Ops Arcade. The first 4 are all fairly easy, like these 2 are both pretty much unmissable while just playing through the levels. And this one, if you don't get this one naturally, there's a certain way you can do it at the start of like a new game. And then this one, you can do it in like the very first wild area is the best place to do it, so nothing much to worry about with those. This is by far one of, if not the hardest trophy in the game in terms of actual difficulty, because getting all the way to the end, this requires you to get all the way to the end of Dead Ops Arcade and defeat the final boss, which means clearing 64 levels and defeating the final boss. And if you die, you go all the way back to the beginning if you're playing this normally. However, they added in not only a first-person version, which is a little bit easier, because you can actually take multiple hits and you have more control over everything, but even better than that, they added in the Advanced Start feature, which allows you to basically have a checkpoint and save your progress every 4 waves. So really, you only have to clear about 4 waves at a time, and every time you start from that advanced start, you get 5 lives and some power-ups every single time. So it's not awful. It could have been a heck of a lot worse. Without that, this would probably be one of the hardest trophies in the entire Call of Duty franchise. So just keep that in mind. If you want to do it the legitimate way, you're going to be struggling. Then you have to perform Body Shield 5 times. This can be done in the campaign. You can farm this very, very easily. You might get it naturally just while playing through the game. Then you have to complete the campaign on Veteran. So Veteran in this game is not that hard as with most modern Call of Duty games. I would say that looking at the most recent Call of Duty games, so like 2019 and on, Modern Warfare 2019 is easier. Modern Warfare 2 2022 is harder. Modern Warfare 3 2023 is probably fairly close to this. Vanguard is probably a little bit harder than this as well. So it's not a particularly hard veteran mode. Really, the only really difficult mission is Echoes of a Cold War, and that's mostly because of the final part of the mission, but for the rest of it, it's not really all that hard, so don't worry too much about it. You just have to complete all the levels of the campaign on any difficulty. There's 12 total levels. Just keep in mind, though, down here toward the bottom, there are this level, the final countdown, and there's another level here, Ashes to Ashes. You only get to play one of these on your initial playthrough, and then you have to make a certain specific choice when you're in the safe house upon reloading a save or reloading through checkpoint select or chapter select, I mean. And you have to pick a different option in order to get the other mission available. So this is presumably the canon ending of the game, whereas this is presumably the non-canon ending based on what we see in Black Ops 6. And then now we get to the miscellaneous trophies. So this one's pretty easy. It's not a very long portion, but you have more than enough time to get 25 kills. This one you're probably going to get naturally, but this is also the hardest part of the game on Veteran, so just keep that in mind. This one's pretty easy. There's way more than 15 total targets. This one is basically unmissable while playing through the game. This one you're going to have to replay you're going to have to play through the Break On Through mission twice, play through it once following every single order you're given, then play through it a second time and deviate on every single opportunity. This one's basically unmissable. This is the final trophy that I got in the game. It's very easy. I just kind of forgot about it and then just decided to save it for last because it was an easy trophy to save for last. Then this one, there's a certain time we're going to be told to go through a door, and what you'll want to do is just wait around until the trophy unlocks, and I think you're forced to go through it. This one is fairly easy, just there are quite a few mortar teams and a lot of vehicles to hit, and it's possible to miss some and then have to restart the entire mission. And then this one was a little bit trickier than I expected because it's right at the beginning of the mission, but there's a lot of targets you have to hit. It's like 4 or 5 guard towers and like 6 or 7 vehicles, and there's very little time to do it. Then we get to the regular zombies map. I actually really enjoy the zombies in this game. It's actually pretty fun. It's definitely more fun than something like Vanguard or obviously Modern Warfare zombies. I still don't think it's quite as good as, say, Black Ops 2 or some of the older ones, or at least not to me, but it's definitely an improvement. I did enjoy the zombies overall, outside of the fact that the PS4 version has serious problems with the game crashing in the middle of zombies, and the campaign for that matter. So crafting 14 different items, there's about 20 different items you can craft, so just do it all in a single game. Pretty easy, just buy all the cheapest ones. Then this one, when the megatons show up, basically you want to use the die machine, which is the wonder weapon on this map. It's very strong. Use that once it splits into 2 smaller megatons and kill it with that, and you should be good to go. This is the Easter egg trophy for the map. The Easter egg is actually really not all that hard. There's no true boss fight in it, like you have to kill a whole bunch of enemies toward the end, but it's nothing too difficult. That was weird. I just got a notice on my computer for something. I don't even know what that was for. Anyway, it's not too bad of an Easter egg. It's definitely nowhere near the difficulty of some of the harder ones from even like Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 3, so don't worry too much. Then forging the Pack-a-Punch machine is basically unmissable. It's probably the first Zombies trophy you're going to get. Then you have to upgrade 6 perks to tier 3 and upgrade a skill. So with both of these trophies, you're going to get ether crystals just by playing through the game of different tiers. And each ether crystal can be used to upgrade your perks as well as your weapon skills. I would suggest just focusing all of them onto your perks so that you can knock out this trophy, because it is a little bit grindy, because you can do everything else well before you have enough crystals. Stay in the yard for 15 rounds is actually quite easy. You can just run around with the Gallo S12 or whatever it's called, which is basically the Spaz 12. Then 100 enemies without leaving the top of the Crash plane wing. The funny thing is this trophy's either glitched or the description's wrong, because you're actually allowed to jump off as many times as you want. Just run up to the top of the plane wing and kill a few enemies, drop down, run back up, rinse and repeat, and you're good to go. So not too hard at all. This is the wonder weapon for the map. You're going to get this on a lot of your runs. It's very easy to get, actually. You can also get it through the box. So now we get to the multiplayer. 200 eliminations is very, very easy. Should not be a problem at all. Win 50 matches is quite time-consuming because the multiplayer is not very good and it's full of hackers, so have fun with that. Then the 50 lethal score streak kills, you can use the RCXD or the cruise missile or whatever you want for this. It's best to combine this one with this gold trophy down here. Now this gold trophy was kind of weird for me because I had gotten 91 kills with the RCXD and 9 kills while piloting a helicopter in Fireteam, but the trophy didn't unlock, but then I got like 4 more RCXD kills and then it unlocked, so I have no idea why it did that. Just note you may have to get 100 with a single vehicle or something like that. Or maybe some of my Fireteam kills just didn't count. That's also possible. And speaking of Fireteam, this is by far the worst trophy in the game outside of potentially the Mama Back trophy, purely because the Fireteam game mode is completely dead. It's only ever populated 1 day a week on Saturdays, and it's not a good time having to get squad wipe medals. You can try to boost it, but the problem is, this is the game mode that requires at least 32 people to start a game, which is so stupid. I don't know why it couldn't have just been 8 people. It would be so much easier to get then. So, if you can go in on a Saturday, you should be able to knock the squad wipe medals out within like a few hours of playing, because there's often going to be people boosting, so if you run across one of the boosting groups, you can easily just like kill all of them and potentially get even multiple squad wipes at once. I was able to get 2 on 1 week and then 8 more the next week, so it wasn't as horrible as it could have been, but just if you're trying to boost this, you need 32 people, and it can kind of be a mess. As I talked about before, it was a giant shit show when we tried to boost this trophy. And then there is the Onslaught DLC. This DLC is pretty straightforward. It's basically closer to a traditional Zombies experience, but every 3 waves you have to deal with an elite, which is basically a boss enemy. So for these trophies, you have to kill an elite enemy with a support, so this has to be something like the combat bow or the death machine. I think the war machine also counts. You get those upon killing elites, so you won't be able to get that until at least the second one. You have to kill an elite in each map, but the good thing about this trophy is that a lot more maps have been added. There were initially only 7, but now there's like 20. So you can kill an elite on any 7 maps that you want. You can play the ones that look more interesting to you. Nothing wrong with that. And then the 7 gold chalices. You get these for clearing 24 waves and a total of 8 bosses or elites on each map. This trophy can be a little bit annoying if you're trying to do it by playing different maps, but you can actually get gold chalices on the same map repeatedly, which makes this much easier, so a map like Satellite works perfectly for this. So, yeah, that is the PS4 version of the game done. And I'm not going to give a full update on the Call of Duty franchise just yet because I'm already halfway through the PS5 version of the game. I did all of this in a single day and night in the course of like 6 hours or so. And that's partially because of some fantastic auto pop features. So, first off, we have the Dead Ops Arcade trophies. I did all of these on, well, I mean, I had to use the advanced start a couple of times because I died a couple of times, but I was able to get the chickens naturally just by playing it. Then I got both of these at the same time because for some reason the game started me on like wave 12 or 13 or something. So the first time I went into the wild sometime after that, it led directly into the Room of Fate, because there's a wild portion right before you get to use the Room of Fate, so that's how I got both of those at the same time. And then the Deadly Dungeon, I did this one last because I kind of forgot how to do it. And then I defeated the Mama Back a lot more easily this time, partially because I had a better fate, because the different fates you get actually do make a difference. I got the Fate of Firepower this time, which is significantly better than the one I got on the PS4 version. I got like the Chalice or whatever it's called, which is one of the worst ones, and still managed to beat it. Now, when I got to the final battle, the actual fight against the Mama Back, I think I had no special abilities and just 9 lives, and did it with like 1 life left. This one I had a whole bunch of abilities left, so it really wasn't even that bad. So yeah, I got through that very quickly. I have not touched the campaign, saving that for later because obviously it's single player, no online required, so nothing to worry about with those. Then I finished everything on Die Machine within just a few hours for the most part. So the 14 different items I did in like my very first game on it. This one is very easy, of course. The Easter egg I did my first try, because again, it's a fairly easy Easter egg. It's basically just building all the versions of the Die Machine and then a few other steps and then protecting the guy at the end. Then this trophy actually auto-pops, and so does this trophy the first time you load into the skills menu. So 2 auto-popping trophies. If for some reason it doesn't immediately auto-pop, just go ahead and purchase 1 upgrade and it should. This was the very first Zombies trophy I got. I just decided to knock it out of the way first because it's a little bit annoying. Then, let's see, nothing else to worry about with those. Then you get to the multiplayer, and all of the multiplayer trophies auto-pop upon doing an action once. So, 1 kill will get you this trophy, 1 win will get you this trophy, and I won the very first game I played. And in that one and only game I played, I got at least 1 kill, of course. I managed to get a kill with the RCXD, and that auto-popped both of these trophies, so all I have left is I need to get 1 squad wipe medal in Fireteam, which I'm going to do this coming Saturday. I'm going to focus on that all of Saturday. I think some guys from my main group of friends and boosters might be trying to play the game that day as well, so that might make it a little bit easier. So really just 1 squad wipe medal and all of the campaign trophies, which is nothing much to worry about. And I will have another Call of Duty game done. At that point, it'll just be Advanced Warfare, the unobtainable Black Ops 3 on PS3, then there's Black Ops 4, which is not going to happen, and Black Ops Declassified, which is going to happen, hopefully by the end of the year. And also for Onslaught, you have to redo the support one, but the Gold Chalices auto-pops after getting just 1 Gold Chalice, and the Killing an Elite pops after killing just 1 Elite enemy. So yeah, thank God for auto-pop, makes this game much, much more manageable. So, let's go ahead and sync up. Alright, level 878, 98%, 29,027 total trophies, 835 platinums, 5,579 golds, 7,796 silvers, 14,817 bronzes. So, plans for the upcoming week. Well, I would love to be able to finish off the other version of Cold War. It's just going to depend on how long Fireteam takes. And along with that, of course, try to finish this subpar South Park game. Other than those, though, I don't know exactly what my plans are going to be for this week in terms of things I want to play. I mean, I wouldn't mind getting started on the other version of Resident Evil 4 sometime soon, but I had to delete that to download the PS5 version of Cold War. For those who don't know, Cold War's achievement list has been leaked, and it's not official yet, but it's supposedly a good source. And it's not going to be fun because there's quite a bit of multiplayer that has to be done this time around, including get a diamond camo, which is just not going to be a good time. The campaign stuff looks pretty run-of-the-mill, nothing out of place there. No Dead Ops Arcade or Fireteam game mode stuff as far as I could tell, which is good. But they do apparently want you to get 66,666 total zombies kills, so yeah, you can get kills faster in Treyarch zombies than you can in Modern Warfare zombies, but it's still just awful. I have no idea why they thought that was a good idea. Hopefully it auto-pops between versions the way that Modern Warfare 3 did, because that would at least mean doing the game twice won't be as bad. And then I feel like there was some other little bit of trophy news that I was going to mention, but now I can't really remember what it was, so that's unfortunate. But along with that, I don't really know what else I'm going to play, because like I was talking about this past weekend, I had to come home this weekend for some family stuff, and I don't know what my schedule exactly is going to look like over the next, several weeks or so, because I talked about everything during the South Park stream, but it has to do with one of my older family members and getting a very bad diagnosis, so I don't know exactly what things are going to be like for a little while. So I appreciate any patience and thoughts and prayers from everyone about that, especially like what I got in the South Park stream. So we will have to see about all of that, but otherwise, the next trophy video is getting edited. It's just taking longer than I thought. I did finish the Fallout video that I wanted to do, the Fallout Vermont video, which means I can get started on the next one, which is Florida. I'm actually very excited for that one. Also, a Modern Warfare 3 handgun video is done, so it can go up this week at some point. So, yeah, I think that's about it for this video. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please like, favorite, share, comment, subscribe, ring the bell if you haven't done so already, all of the normal things I asked for. Let me know down in the comments what you guys have been working on this past week, where you stand out on the Call of Duty games, what you think of Black Ops 6. I'm hearing very mixed reviews on the beta, so I guess we will have to see when that comes out. But thank y'all for watching, and like I said, I will hopefully be streaming some this week, but schedule could be a little bit up in the air, so see you guys later.